How the heck did I end up on this screen? Home. Boop. Boop. Bop. And that's how I do a sync up. And we'll get to talking in a little bit. There's a lot of feathers I have to redeem because I've actually been using different characters. And it was in a Tempest trial, so there's actually quite a few new characters to actually redeem feathers from. I'm actually surprised that Gwen over here isn't one of them. Maybe I'll get to that in a little bit. But we're here in Game & Chill, and I have one main objective. I guess I overlooked the fact that they haven't introduced a new set of Summer Hero units until a couple days ago. But Lord and behold, we got new Summer Hero units. And of course one of them is Lynn, which means I gotta go for it. Melena is looking pretty dope too though. Let me make sure I don't got any other free draws in the mix. And we'll go from there. And this will be a pretty nice way to end the night. Cause I'll admit at the start of the day I was a little bit worried that this weekend would be a bit of a flop. Cause I spent way too much time stressing about my time today. Went out to drive out and do things and I forgot a lot of things and well, there's just something, maybe just the fact that she has so many ribbons and takes up so much more of the screen. I always get the feeling that I'm gonna get a super rare hero whenever she pops up and blesses my screen. Also, I realized I did not clean out my box. I'm sure this won't come back to haunt me at all. But yeah, like I was convinced that this would be a more stressful day because I'm so worried about time. My original intent was to stay home all day and just work on things around here, but because of things with the car, I decided to try to go out to try to drive out the car issues to see if anything was up. Long story short. Granted, there were some things that I was just going to wait until next weekend to do that I just ended up doing today, like withdrawing cash. Because I normally don't use cash, except for paying for gas. So I do have to go by the bank every now and then to take care of that. Get breakfast, and the part that I really think I went wrong with my day was I got way too into the Pokemon Go scene, just trying to find a good place to walk when I should have just picked a place and went with it. I basically stopped by a college that was along the way from the area of the falls I was at to the place I normally walk, and then I went to try to find a place to walk in the falls, in my typical walking area, but they also get local normie festivals. And I think I was in the middle of one when I went over there, so it was hard to find a place to park to walk, so I just decided, like, hey, I have to drive around for a certain mileage before I can see if there's an issue with the car anyways. Why don't I just go ahead and drive away the car? Drive around instead of walk around. Big mistake. I don't play Pokemon Go to drive. It's not Pokemon Drive. Granted, it's not quite Pokemon Walk either, but it's not Pokemon Drive. Alright, next set, blue and red. Figure at least give one. Fine, wanna be that way, game. Give me one blue and a whole bunch of reds. I think red is one that I'm looking for though, so I'll just clear this whole one out. Then, like, pretty much after I went for all that, I decided my dad helped me a lot this week with the car shenanigans, so I should spend some time to help him. So I did. I was out for more than an hour, got hot, freaked out. Eventually, I settled down. Probably wasted like an hour just trying to calm myself back down, but it got calmed down eventually, and I did some things. But all this rest of the day doesn't matter, because I got my little figurines done. I got a little Project Wrong drawer sitting right next to me with his cute little face. Can't wait to give these to the people that they're for over at Conbravo. if I could find, now that they're done, if I could find a good way to post them that 100% assured that the person or people that they're for won't see it, I totally would, and not just put it behind like a paywall on Patreon or just message it directly to my friends. I'll figure out something though, and you can bet your Roonies that as soon as Conbravo is over, or even when I get them to them, the people, I'll post pictures up on the site. Because I'm so proud of how they came out. Oh, new 5-star hero. Unfortunately, you're not really one that I'm interested in any sort of way. Wait, does that say your older brother? And it's probably not the same old level guy I'm thinking of. Nope. I knew this would come back to bite me. You know, I just realized, editing this video, I was thinking, you know, I have such a huge backlog with Game & Chill. Maybe this will come out after Conbravo, and sure enough, when I checked my upload calendar, there's no way for this to come out before I go to Conbravo, which actually is kind of perfect. Because I'm so excited to showcase the crafts I made. Why not just make a little clip? I kind of need a little filler to assure that this video in particular is going to be not too short anyways. So here we go. First, before I do so, a little bit of disclaimer. It's okay if you don't get where a lot of these are from. Because unless you watch the same exact people I do on YouTube, some of these may be a bit of an obtuse reference. But here goes nothing. First and foremost, I think I might as well showcase what I want to give to Nintendo Capri's son when I meet up with him, because he's actually probably the first YouTuber I've actually mentioned on Game & Chill. So it's a fair transition. It's actually a little bit of a two-parter, because the first thing I made was based on some leftover green putty I had, but then I eventually... excuse me. So, as I was saying before that happened, this first thing I made was based on some leftover putty I had. I wanted to make a king slime, but I didn't have enough putty to do so. So I decided to make this. It's a little two-parter based on the Kirby Adventure LP that he was doing right around that time, and a little slime from Dragon Quest, because I can tell he's a big fan of those games. Even made the little Kirby so like the slime could actually rest on his head. It's a little flatter, you might guess. When I actually got the idea to make a king slime for him, which I'll showcase a little later on, I wasn't sure if I was actually gonna finish this guy up, because this was kind of just a placeholder idea. But I got to the point where I was so close being done, had the right paints out at the right time, I figured I'd finish it off. A little bit conflicted if I was giving one person too much, but I don't think anyone would complain. Yeah, Kirby's a little bit rushed, so if I had a little more time, I could have probably like finished up the shoes and that, but the acrylic red I'm using is kind of all watered out, so it'd take a bit more time than you might expect to finish that up. On the bright side, the watered out acrylic red worked really well for the Kirby blush. I don't know what else to describe that thing that he has on his cheek. Overall, this is kind of a little more rushed compared to what I actually made for him. It's a king slime. I haven't played any Dragon Warrior games, so minus the fact that slimes exist in the universe, and what Google Image is willing to tell me, that's all I really know about the Dragon Quest series. I know a bit about Dragon Builder because NCS actually did an LP of it. He's actually still working on it now as we speak, but I've gotten up to like chapter 2 or so. Can't recall if I was caught up or if he started chapter 3. Either way, I thought this would be a fitting thing I'm glad I actually went for the extra effort to actually make the King Slime instead of just settling with the Kirby, because as I was watching him do the LP, I noticed like he was doing it blind, so it wasn't the most passionate thing he had in the world. So I felt kind of guilty making my main thing for him, being of a game that he just, I wouldn't say he dislikes, but just isn't as passionate about as this little King Slime. I feel like he's gonna love this, and I would have felt bad if I just did another Kirby. Because this is a little bit of random trivia, and definitely off tangent. But I actually do a lot of back when I was really into custom amiibos, I actually do a bit of dry clay with Kirby. And Kirby's just an easy thing to do dry clay with, because he's a simple shape. He comes in so many different colors that you can pretty much use whatever leftover paint you have to actually do it. And I'm so glad this is a Game & Chill, because this type of quality would be unacceptable in anything else. Yeah, unfortunately, they're really old. Dry clay's all cracked, and this one in particular I have them dust off real well. Yeah, these definitely need dusting, and the dry clay kind of shows. If I get the opportunity, I'm doing so much editing for this particular Game & Chill as is. I'll just plop in a photo of the actual Kirby dry clays back when they were actually good. But I'm really off tangent as is, and still got a couple more things I gotta showcase. But yeah, hoping Tim really enjoys those. And that's probably the most simple thing to get, because like anyone who's played Dragon Quest is gonna, or Kirby, is gonna get what those are about. This, on the other hand, you pretty much have to actually follow the YouTuber to get what the heck it's about. Oh, I just remember another thing that I could have showed that wasn't as obtuse, but here we go. If you watch Proton John, you'll recognize the egg? You may be wondering what the heck this thing is, though. I don't even know where I got the idea. Maybe during Throne Controllers Coliseum, John was playing the Chansey minigame, but I don't even know if that's the thing. It's just like, what do I know about Proton John? He streams, I don't follow him on YouTube. He streams late, so I don't always get to catch his streams. What do I know about him? Well, he has memes related to Kermit the Frog and eggs. What's associated with eggs that associates with me? A Pokemon based around eggs? Guess that's the inspiration of why I made this. An element in the molding process. It's actually a little bit bummed with how it turned out, because it's not supposed to be this flat, but as I made the initial shape for the Chansey, sorry, doing this on film is actually not as easy as I thought it would be. Trying to rotate it around and all that. What I'm saying, eggs. Oh yeah, the Chansey. It's kind of got old mush, because I had it around before, but then I had to just start pulling out the shape to try to make the hair, the arms, things like that, and it just got squished from there. If you're wondering what the heck happened to this Chansey besides that, though, another meme associated with Proton John is Robocop. So it was a Robocop Chansey with pretty much his signature egg. I hope he actually recognizes the Chansey to actually get that, though. Before I go into another obscure reference, though, where is it? I really wanted to showcase this one. Well, that's not fair. I really like all of these. But I feel like there's a story I gotta tell about this one. It's a little Pichu on a trophy. And what's it holding? It's holding a button. What is that all about? Oops, it's upside down. Sorry, my finger's in the way. I'm kind of just like a little uncoordinated, trying to juggle between moving things, keep my eyes on the things I'm trying to move and keep my things on the camera. And it says number 1 Mashing Master, which is in reference to TRG Coliseum. This is for Masay and Nella, because a common thing that's been happening on TRG Coliseum is when they play Pokemon Stadium 2 minigames. For one, Masay is well known for her button mashing skills as is out of the group. But it's to the point where, when playing against her in Pokemon Stadium 2, you avoid picking the Pichu minigame, unless you just want to give her the win. So that's what this is about. Yeah, I guess if I took a little more time, I could, clear out that yellow. But it kind of almost adds an effect to the Pichu as well, so I was content leaving it as is. I just wonder there's a little bit more I wanted to say about it than that, but like the other things, I hope that she enjoys them. Not sure how much my thumb has been in the way of all these shots, so I feel like I'm obligated to show a little bit of what I got without my hands in the way. There we go. We got Masay on the right, Proton John on the left, and NCS in the back. Do I save? I don't know. I want to save the best for last, but both of these are so best in their own way. I don't know which one I want to show off first. Let's just pick this guy out. This one might be one you get, sort of, because it's actually a Pokemon. And I made this cute little Shinx for Lucajin. I think I've talked... No, I was going to say I talked about her a bit in my Pokemon Go PvP videos of all things. But that's definitely not going to come out for this at this rate. I probably could have either commentate that or do Pokemon Go podcasting. Oh, shoot. Oh, man, I completely forgot about that white spot. I'll have to decide if it's worth my time to go back and clean that up. But at least everything else is done for sure with no regrets. Yeah, this is a little Shinx. It's a Pokemon from Pokemon Platinum. Part of her blind playthrough of the game. It's one of the first Pokemon that she caught and made part of her team. You may be wondering what it's wearing. All I'm gonna say is that the Shinx is named Spanx, but I am not drawing underwear. Granted, I don't know enough about the women in Talenji to know if a bra is considered underwear, but yeah. Okay, I guess I just said it. That was terrible being around the bush. It's a Shinx wearing a bra. You probably get it if you actually watch the blind playthrough. Possibly. I just know that she's gonna really get a kick out of it. And even took the time to paint the bottom too. Just that one spot that of course I only notice when I'm actually filming. It's the only thing missing about it. Just so adorable. Especially a little worried about how this came out because it's kind of similar with the Proton John Chansey. It's amazing how easy it was to get squished. The Shinx was supposed to be a lot taller, but as I was trying to make out the legs and that, it just got squished. But now that I actually finished painting it, it's got its own little charm to it. So I'm real happy that it turned out well. Oh boy. Which means that's for last. Now if you follow me enough, you know that all the guys that I've followed closely that are going to Conbravo, the one person I haven't mentioned yet is Chuck Conroy. Pretty much my first inspiration for YouTube in general. One of the first Let's Players I watched that I actually stuck around with. There was one Mario Party 2 commentary that I saw before my first Chuck Conroy video, and that one didn't click with me. But for some reason, the Earthbound episode of the Onet police station was the very first Chuck Conroy video I saw, and it just so happened to click. And why am I going on about this? Look. If you see this, Emil, I'm sorry. I wanted to make... I know you have a custom amiibo collection, and I wanted to make something they actually would love, but I had a huge brain fart. So instead of making a good custom amiibo, I made this shit. Grant, it's very good. I just say it's because this is a dumb reference. You probably may not even get it, even if you watch Garni's video. It's kind of... Do I go out and even go into the story of Daisy, the wood, and the heart-shaped box? I don't know if that would be going too far, even for Game and Chill. But it is references to streams that he's technically been in, memes that he's kind of embraced. Yeah, let's get a nice shot of the inside of Daisy, just so I can showcase the boots a bit more. So yeah, I was trying to figure out what... I really wanted to make a custom meatball for a meal, because I think last year or the year before I made one for Lucachin. So Chocolate Caramel was the next on the list. However, I couldn't really come up with a good idea until I just realized I could make a Valentine's Day Daisy with a log on his back, which wouldn't make much sense unless you know the reference to the wood. So yeah, it's got the Valentine's outfit, it's got the wood tied in the back. The things that... It's actually a couple vines connecting the wood to her shoulders. Just because, like, I'm trying to think of an idea of, like, how could I make a log naturally look fitting on someone's back? Maybe, like, if you carried it around along your back, like a case, and, like, the vines... Like, you probably see a backpack that looked like this with a log shape and some vines to represent the strings. So it just seemed to work for me. Unfortunately, I got a little bit of green putty and paint along the hair, and this hair is really stubborn to work with. Like, painter's tape does not stick to the material of this hair for some reason. But of course, everything else does. And the gloves there, like, I was gonna paint them completely black, but it kind of actually looked nice. Should I say kind of nice? With the rim. So I just left that alone there. Is there anything else about this I'm forgetting about? There is only one other thing I can think to say. Like, as I was going through this, I first kind of went with a Fireflower look. Or intentionally, because the way I paint stuff, especially meeples, I paint in white just to get a good base on it so the other colors go on fairly smoothly. And it got to the point with putting the white and then the red that actually looked like something that she would have if she had the Fireflower power up. It's so tempting to just leave it as is, but wanted to continue on with the theme, and I'm glad I did. It came out pretty good, all things considered. Like, I could probably touch up the vines a bit more with green, but the green, I have so little green that I wasn't really sure if it was worth it. And I can't really do anything with the brown either, because I had to mix colors together just to get this brown. It's not even the most ideal brown that I would like to use. And that brown paint's probably dried up now, so I have to remix it. And at that point, I'd pretty much be repainting the whole thing all over again. But overall, I'm pretty glad with how it turned out, between just the pink and the red trimming, the boots. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how all these turned out. And I'm really looking forward to giving them to their respective parties when I actually go to Conbravo. Took a bit more work than just doing a drawing like I normally do, but well worth the effort if I say so myself. Wow, wait, is this really a 16-minute recording, and that not even including the part before I sneezed? Guess I don't gotta worry about the car story being too long. This, on its own, probably can make its own game and show, especially if I put everything before the car story on it. So, back to the gameplay. And we're stuck in the infinite loading screen of doom. I cut it out. All the hero sending home stuff to avoid shenanigans like this, but instead I just ended up losing my train of thought and being stuck in the loading screen of doom. Wow, we're sitting here. Maybe this will at least give me a chance to get my thoughts together. I started going into all the things about today and how so much of it ties into car shenanigans, and I haven't even explained what the car shenanigans was. Well, in best case scenario, we got the climax of the epic saga of Car Shenanigans, Book 1. Knowing the rules of life, Book 2 is inevitably around the corner.